Welcome back. So that was Kisia Jabing speaking earlier to the press. In studio, I have lawyer Ofori-Atta, who's MP for Menchia South. Welcome to the show. Good evening.
Thank you, my brother.
Later, we'll be joined by Martin Kpebu, who is a private legal practitioner. Martin, good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good evening. Fine. Yes, sir.
Yes, busy day for you lawyers. You've caused all of us to go and start reading our law books.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Martin, how are you?
Good job.
Yeah.
Let me thank you guys for a good job done in the election 2024, the whole year.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys and Joy FM did great, and TV3.
Thank you.
How can we put the MPP out for their bad governance? I hope they will learn a lesson and come back better next time.
Martin, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. Good. So I hope you heard me. That you guys should go and learn governance. The arrogance was too much. The posturing as if you were the only Ghanaians. So please learn. Don't bring somebody in the nature of a Kufuado again.
Okay, Martin, let's take it one by one.
That's your judgment.
It's been a very long day for a lot of us because around 11 p.m. we got notice of the raid in Ofori-Atta's house. And then in the morning, the Herald newspaper said it was the OSP behind it. We called the OSP. They said they were going to do a press conference, which they had already planned, and that they believed that the whole thing was a setup and that they were not involved. And then they declared Ofori-Atta wanted. We'll come to AG later. But what do you make of the past 24 hours in terms of the raid against the man and the OSP's tough talking that Mr. Ofori-Atta will find you wherever you are? I heard you earlier today say that you think the OSP left it a little late. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Mr. Affle, okay, let's stay bent so to make it easier. Look, it's been a lot of disappointment for me. A lot. I'm extremely disappointed that the OSP allowed Ken to go, and then now they are crying all over that Ken is a wanted man, he's a fugitive. I don't get it. My thesis is that, look, they have so many men from September 2023 where they were given clearance over about 230 minimum. They're about 230. So my quick synopsis is that even assuming 50 declined, minimum about 180 persons came in. These are supposed to be professionals, etc. So when you have so many professionals to help you do investigations, why do you take the job away from them and then you do go slow investigations? Because look, Ben, I'm telling you that I can't believe that Kisia Jabing started work on this brief right from December 2023 when this SML matter broke with diligent prosecutors and other investigators. I don't believe it. I will never believe it that he started in good time. No, because one would have expected that he would have reached this level a long time ago, because he said it's now that he's notifying Ken that he's a suspect. From the interview, he's now notifying Ken more than a year on. Why? What were they doing? Is it rocket science? This is not a brief that looks overly complex. No, these ones, they are mostly procurement breaches. That's what they are, mostly procurement breaches and lack of value for money. So I don't understand how this could have taken so long. I was telling Selom, Adonu, your colleague, that this case is different from the type that they did against Blatter, the one FBI did against Blatter. You know, football, when you want to catch corruption, it's more complex and, you know, very difficult to detect. So the FBI took years. This one, they were pretty much straight. Either SML had either the Public Procurement Authority did the right thing by giving sole sourcing contract or not. Because, you know, SML went 3 times. They didn't get it. Then they changed their name, right? And then got it. And then you see how Ofori-Atta was looming large in name. This doesn't look that complex. OSP sat down for that long, and now that Ofori-Atta says he needs to go up for medical care, that's the time you say he's wanted. And I think, you see, there's one part that maybe Mr. Kisia Jabing needs to look at it again. The man is produced a medical, what do you call it, excuse duty. Yes, that's how we call it in Ghana. That is going for medical help. Have you called the hospital? Me, I'm looking at it from the fact that he had a year. If you couldn't do jack in a year, the time the man says he's going for medical care, that's the time you say you need him. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Martin, do you think he's been emboldened by the change in government, which is why he probably started hastening after the election? Because you do know that he had held press conferences before complaining about the previous government frustrations of him and how he said the judiciary was not cooperating. So from a legal point of view, you may be right, but from a political point of view, maybe he felt that he could move quickly now that the election was over and there was a new government. What do you think about that?
Yes, that's partly. That's, it's an eclectic, we do an eclectic approach. So I'm trying to say it's not just one factor, right? Naturally, yes, a lot of institutions, even journalists have been emboldened because generally GM has a better record at that. But since I'm looking at the brief, this SML brief, it's not rocket science. So I don't want to think that he couldn't do much about it because Akufo-Addo was in power. No. If he really wanted to work, he could do it. My sense of it is that I think his management style comes into serious question. Yeah. Kissi Jabin's management style must be seriously scrutinized. Because look, as I said, he got troops, at least 180. As I'm saying, I'm assuming a 50 decline, but I'm sure not up to 50 decline. He got troops, and he had a 1 year. And he was being sluggish, extremely sluggish.
Okay.
I don't think.
Fair enough. But aren't you being a bit fatalistic in the sense that there are 5 cases apart from the SML one, and the fact that the man is not in the country does not end the matter, because as he said, they would pursue getting him to come down. So it's better late than never, isn't it? So, and number 2, a man is innocent and proven guilty. So the fact that Mr. Kissi Jabin says he wants to question the man, that does not even necessarily mean that anything has been established prima facie. So aren't we being too hasty in even saying that the OSP is delayed? It's almost like you've presumed the man guilty before he's gone through any process.
Okay, it's interesting. Yeah, it's because the brief looks pretty much straight. This in law, generally a lot of it looks like open and shut. Open and shut means that, look, it's black and white. It's either there were grounds to give sole sourcing contract or there were not. If you look at the Public Procurement Act, if you want to give, single source, they keep pointing out that we should be saying single source, but the sole source appears to be more popular. Look, if you want to do single source, there are grounds in the Act. What made SML suitable for single source, where they had no track record in the field? These were basically timber merchants metamorphosed into providing this revenue assurances. They had no track record. What at all is in SML that made single source the most appropriate method to use? So you can see, and you see KPMG. I think KPMG just did only economic analysis. They were looking at it with legal eyes. You see how in about how many weeks, 6 or so weeks, KPMG came out, or even if it's more, but you see that KPMG came out within a reasonable time. Okay. And yet he had a lot more time. Okay. He had a lot of qualified people around there, and I don't know what they were doing. Is it that he wasn't giving them the work to do, or they were all sleeping on the job? Okay. So, Bernard, what I want us to do is that he must come and account for his management style. We can't continue to just give him support. Look, right. Those days where you just come and say Akufo-Addo is hindering the work, they are over. No, they are over. If we were to do that, a lot would just get swept under the carpet. I am not satisfied with the pace of work in all of these cases.